This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English, episode number 287, baby. Oh yeah. In today's episode we have a very useful episode because we talk about how to save money. Everything in the world is more expensive now, especially energy bills, electricity, gas, so we all need to tighten our belts, which is a nice term to say save money, to tighten our belts. And in today's episode with Substitute Sabrina, we look at ways about how to do exactly that. Just so you know, for the first minute probably, we speak about the match England against the USA, which happened on Friday. And we recorded this, though, on Saturday morning, just for some background knowledge, okay? And like always, there is some beautiful talk about going to the toilet. One phrase in particular I want you to remember. See if you can think what that phrase is, and I will talk to you again at the end. Happy listening. Substitute Sabrina, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thanks. And how about you?
Not too bad. Even after England-USA yesterday, quite a boring 0-0 draw, but
yeah,
I'm trying to pick myself up. This is life as an England fan. Never anything good. And I was thinking, like, if we can't beat America at football, what have we got?
Wait a minute.
We must be able to beat America at something. Football is our thing. If America starts beating us at football, luckily it was a draw, but if we start losing to America at football, that's it. My life is over.
All right, hold on a minute. Now, if you noticed that, if you watched the game very well, the U.S. team played a lot better.
I totally agree with you, and that was the hurtful thing, that, you know, we know America are better than us, yeah, but at least we have football. That's what I always thought. Now they seem to be better than us at football. What the hell have we got? We're left with nothing, just shit weather, and that's it.
I wouldn't say that the U.S. is better than the U.K. or anything like that, but to be honest, I mean, I didn't think the U.S. could play well, but this team, I have to say, is a surprise.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just get this is a kind of compliment, but America are kind of like, yeah, the team, man. There's no I in team. We do this for the team. Whilst English should just play for themselves and just bastards, all of them. But anyway, let's come on to today's pod. How do we usually start the pod?
Let me see. I think you have a review.
Do you think we have a review?
Or you should have a review.
That's a perfect answer. We should, but we don't. Okay?
Oh,
we
wow.
should, but this really is just turning out to be the most depressing podcast because we've already spoken about England being worse than America at football. No review. So unfortunately not. So please send them in. So on to then today's topic, which now I think about it is also quite a depressing topic. Okay. But was suggested to me by one of the R&R family members recently about, obviously, the world at the moment, crisis with these huge energy bills and stuff. So I thought we could talk about how to save money and save energy in general. Okay, a real hard-hitting topic. Okay,
very depressing. Yes. Okay, let's go for it.
But very useful at the same time. So, for example, obviously we all have cookers, ovens. You can heat yourself up with that instead of switching on the heating. Have you ever done this, Substitute Sabrina?
Not really, because I am kind of afraid of having the stove on with the gas and just, I don't know, I'm afraid of gas, so I wouldn't do that.
So, okay, explain this to me. I'm afraid of gas thing.
Well, you know, gas could cause an explosion, or like when
So there's no gas in your house then? Is that how you save energy? You don't switch on the gas? Perfect.
No, I cook with gas, and then as soon as I finish cooking, I turn the main switch off because I have a fear of gas. But I would never heat myself like turning on the stove.
Well, not so the stove, obviously the thing where you would like boil water, but the actual oven though.
Oh, the oven. When I cook,
Yeah.
obviously I use the oven, but I'm not going to just turn the oven on just for heating purposes because then you're wasting electricity.
Of course, but my thing is when you finish, you open that oven. If it's cold and you're like, oh yeah, I'll just stand by the oven for a bit.
Sure, I'll stick my head in the oven and warm up.
Maybe not head, definitely not recommended. So if anyone's listening to this thinking about putting their head in the oven,
Please don't try this at home.
Definitely not. But hands are always good. You got cold hands. I actually in Sicily lived in an apartment for a long time that had no central heating, and people think of Sicily, it's always good weather, it's nice, which is kind of true, but believe me, when you've got nothing heating your house, it's horrible. Because in the historical centre of the city, lots of the old buildings don't have like the systems for like central heating, and that's what I didn't have. And the oven sometimes was the saviour.
Maybe you could have bought like a little electrical heater, safer than the oven.
I'm scared of electrical heaters. They can cause problems as well.
See? Okay.
And actually, you say that, I actually had one of those gas ones, where you put that kind of...
yeah.
And I always thought, I'm going to die now.
It's going to explode in the middle of the night.
It's going to explode and I'm going to die. And now we're moving just to save money in general, okay? This one is very close to my heart, which is cut your own hair. Have you ever done this substitute, Sabrina?
Well, for women, it's kind of hard, but I have to be honest, I have, because I have a thing that when my bangs grow too long, I have to do it myself if I can't get to a hairdresser. So yes, I have cut my own hair.
And how did that go? Because for many years, I cut my own hair, and now I think about it, those were the years where lots of people made fun of me for my hair. So now I can kind of see a correlation there.
Okay.
In the past, I didn't really see it. So how did it go for you?
The first time I tried it, I cut it when it was wet. So obviously when it dries up, my bangs were like...
Sorry, this is the secateurs. What are bangs, by the way?
Your bangs are the part of the hair in front of that lie on the eyebrow. What do you call
fringe?
them?
Your fringe.
Yeah, bangs. Bangs, fringe is the same. We call them bangs. If I go to a hairdresser in America, I'll say, "Can you cut my bangs?"
Can you cut my bangs?
Yeah.
Oh, that is... Look, we invented this language, okay? And not for you.
God,
not for
here
you.
We go again.
Not for you to abuse the language. So, in fact, I was talking earlier about, it looks like not even football now we've got above America. But the language thing is one thing. Ammunition we will always be able to use, okay, against the Yanks.
Whatever.
We invented the language.
Yeah, you invented it.
So let's stick to the actual English language and call it your fringe.
And
fringe.
We can also call it soccer. Thank you. Okay, let's move on.
Right. You've taken it too far now, okay? We were having a nice joke and then you've taken it too far.
I passed the limit.
Exactly. So you cut your bangs.
Yeah.
It does sound rude because in English, the language which you don't know,
God.
bangers means something else. Means two things actually. Means sausages.
Right.
And a part of the woman's.
Okay. I remember. Yes, I know what it is. But this is bashing on US today or Sabrina Day?
No, US, not Sabrina, just the US. This one I thought was hilarious. So I literally went on a website about how to save money and energy. This one connected, I suppose, to energy. So it says flush the toilet less. So remember, flush. And it then says, which I think is fantastic. It uses a great piece of vocabulary, which is mellow. Like don't do anything with it. So the tip is flush less. If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
I mean, you have a point there, but I have a pet peeve about that. You know, I don't like to see pee or smell pee.
Mm.
So if there's pee in there, I flush and I tell Mr. Substitute, you better flush that toilet when you're finished. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think pee smells that bad. I haven't got a problem with it. So I often in the night, if I go in the night, you know, because I'm an old man now, I have to get up and go to the toilet in the night. And if that happens, I think I don't really want to wake everyone up and flush the toilet. So I often don't, only for that reason, because as we just read, if it's yellow, let it mellow.
But it stinks.
I don't think it does. And then in the morning, then I let's say get it in the ear from Mrs. R&R, because apparently it smells more when you're pregnant, like she is, and then it's not good.
I'm not pregnant and I smell it, so it smells.
But I'm trying to save energy. I'm trying to not wake people up. So this, I think, is a great motto. If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. Okay? And you can't go wrong with that. So the next one, again, just on saving money here, is to go for cheap toilet paper. Okay? Now, I'm not sure in America, do you say toilet paper?
Yeah, toilet paper is the same.
Right, okay, the same. Now, this is a big one, I think, because I think when you go to someone's house, you can really tell what type of person they are by the toilet paper. When you get that really soft stuff, you kind of think, oh, wow, these people, they've got money. They've got money. So what about you, Substitute Sabrina? What toilet paper do you go for?
I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with having money or not, but I need a soft toilet paper because, you know, I'm very delicate and I want a soft wipe.
Yeah, okay. It is, I mean, at times when we decide to push the boat out to really go for it, it's a whole new experience when you've got that soft.
Yeah,
we kind of go middle of the road. We don't go for that stuff which actually feels like actual paper that you write on.
Right.
That's not enjoyable at all. But
no, but you have to consider that we women have two purposes of toilet paper, not just one like you guys. So it has to be soft.
Also true, but I mean, some of the prices of toilet paper, you kind of think I need to get a loan from the bank to get that kind of toilet paper.
That's true. That's freaking expensive.
It is. So, some, like I said, we go for middle of the road, but toilet paper I think is another good one. So, another one here is saving money in general is get less takeaways. Okay. Now, what about you, Substitute Sabrina? How many of these? Because for us, a Friday and Saturday night, who wants to cook on a Friday and Saturday night? How can you not get a takeaway?
Okay, maybe I'm an oddball, but we hardly have takeaways.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If anything, we'll go out and have a pizza, but not order it. You know, not have a delivery. No.
Right. Okay. Because we big on takeaways, and so I recently went because found out obviously if you go to collect the pizza or whatever, it costs less. And there's this Italian place in England where I always go, and I've become quite pally with them because I obviously can speak Italian, and so always having like a laugh and joke. And then as I was leaving last time, he said to me, like, why don't you bring like your wife and your child? And I said, oh, the problem is my daughter's always running around and it would cause a nightmare. And he said, okay. And as I got in the car, obviously I was speaking in Italian at this point, I realized I didn't say my daughter is always running around causing a mess. I said my wife is always running around.
Oh, your wife. That really sounded good then.
Yeah, so I thought, what must he have been thinking? I only realized when I got in the car. And I said to him, "Oh, I can't really come and have a pizza here because my wife is always just running around going crazy."
Yeah, maybe she's on something and she has this thing.
Yeah, I just can't control her.
Right,
It's a nightmare. She's just literally running around the table like throwing pizzas. It's a nightmare.
Oh, that's funny.
But it's the kind of thing you have with languages. Even in my language, when I worked at a pub once, and someone was having some food, and I said, I wanted to say you can get your condiments over there. Now, condiments being like salt and pepper and thing, and obviously that word sounds quite similar to the word condoms.
Exactly.
And I said to this person, so he said, "You're having just like Sunday roast, as we say."
Right.
I said, "Yep, sure, brilliant. Here are your drinks. Here are your knife and fork, and your condoms are just over there."
Just in case you need them later.
Exactly. So it can happen. It can happen in all languages, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So another one here, and this again maybe for you in the US, is don't get sick, because if you get sick, often there are medical bills to pay. I in fact recently had a very bad toothache, and then you kind of think like, how much do I care about my health? Because this is going to cost money. It's a nightmare, isn't it? You think, do I really want to pay to keep myself alive?
No, it's true, and it's actually very sad. Obviously, you know the whole system in the U.S. If you have insurance with work, part of the insurance pays for it, etc. If you don't work and you don't have private insurance, it's a problem. And forget about going to the dentist. The dentist is a whole different thing. It's like you got to pay out of your own pocket.
Right. Okay. So that's the same in England as well, for the dentist. So some of it is like public. So I went there the other day, and he said to me, "Yeah, so for this visit, the public health service are paying."
Right.
And then he said, "But you need to come back in a few more weeks, and it's going to cost £400." And I was like,
"Whoa!" Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, do I really need teeth? Is it?
Yeah, I think it's a part of you need it. Yes, but it's kind of sad because. Teeth is also, you have to take care of your teeth.
Yeah, exactly. But it's annoying. But so in America then, so people have to shell out, so they have to find the money to spend on private medical insurance and toilet paper,
and
because
toilet
those
paper. That's right.
those two things, as we know, are quite expensive.
Yeah.
So what else do I have on my list? Wear more clothes. Okay, now for winter, obviously, if you have more clothes on at home, you don't need to switch the heating on. So is this something you do, substitute, Sabrina?
Well, this year, yes, because since the mayor of the city has given an ordinance, is that what you call it, that you have to keep your heating system at 19 degrees. So if it does,
okay, I've not heard this.
Yeah, no, in Rome, yeah. So if the heating doesn't kick in, so if it's not cold enough at home for it to kick in, then I'm freezing. So yeah, I look like the Michelin doll because I have a bunch of stuff on.
And how do they know if your house is above 19 degrees, just out of interest? Is there like police coming and knocking on your door and saying, it's 19.5 in here?
That's what I thought. But no, also the condominium, they send us, we highly recommend that you have the heating on at 19. They'll notice at the end when the bill comes. So I guess it's to save money.
That would be a problem. I notice for people in England that have their heating at about 45 degrees when you go around. Honestly, it's so hot in people's houses. I went to watch the football at a friend's house last night, and honestly, I was so hot, I thought I was getting a suntan. It was just ridiculous.
What's the point of having the heating on and wearing a T-shirt? It's like,
And I had to wear a T-shirt. I went there with jumper, jacket, and then was just in a T-shirt. And there were many people there. Otherwise, I would have been happy to take my trousers off.
You would have gone butt naked.
Yeah, exactly. Is absolute nightmare. But this, wearing clothes, and again in England, I've been doing this a lot now, is wearing what I consider the greatest invention of all time, which are long johns. Are you familiar with long johns?
I've heard about them. I've seen them, but you wear long johns?
Oh, I wear long johns. So they are, for people that don't know, are, let's say, men's tights. So you have your trousers on, and underneath your trousers, you have these kind of tights.
That looks pretty sexy, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And what I even do, just for extra warmth, is I tuck the long johns into my socks. So there's no air can get into my legs, because the socks and the long johns are just one.
I'm sure you look really hot in those long johns.
It's quite a sight. Let me tell you. But I just think though. So when you go out, if you wear like a jumper or something, you would never just wear one layer, would you? You need many layers,
right.
And on your legs, people just wear one layer. So you need more than one layer on your legs as well.
You have a point there. That's true. It's very true.
So I'm very much for putting more than one layer, and I've also got a pair of waterproof trousers for when I'm on my bike. Not because I wet my pants or anything like that, but for when I'm on my bike, I have these waterproof trousers if it's raining. And again, so on Monday when I cycled to the pub to watch the England match, I arrived, took off my waterproof trousers, which does look weird because everyone in the pub thinks I was just taking my trousers off. So took off my waterproof trousers and then had a pair of jeans on. Okay. And underneath my jeans, I was also wearing my long johns. So I was actually wearing essentially 3 pairs of trousers.
So you kind of look like the Michelin doll.
Also. But that is a way to save money and
right.
to look cool. Exactly. Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Substitute Sabrina, about saving money, saving energy. I'm sure lots of people have got lots of tips from us. Right. Just remember, one more time, I'll say it again. If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. Okay? And we will talk to you soon, Substitute Sabrina.
All righty. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, so that was Substitute Sabrina and me speaking about how to save money. Did you understand the phrase? I'm sure you did. If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. But the actual word itself, mellow, is a lovely word. If you just want to mellow, it's kind of the same as chill out. Just let that yellow stuff in the toilet chill out. So, before we look at the other vocab, let's have a quick look at some R&R pronunciation. So when I was talking about long johns, which remember are the tights that men wear, let's say, men that don't like cold, I said this. So when you go out, if you wear like a jumper, so notice the word there, the phrasal verb go out, but notice how it becomes go out, because they are 2 vowel sounds connected. So we actually insert another consonant sound, which is a w, go out. But I talk much more about this on my pronunciation course, Fluency via Pronunciation and Storytelling. If you want to find out more about that, go to rockandrollenglish.com/fluency. So on to the other vocabulary. At the beginning, I said I'm trying to pick myself up after last night's disappointing match. So to pick yourself up, to make yourself feel good again, let's say. I also used a term which is quite common. There is no I in team. So if you spell the word team, it's T-E-A-M. There is no I in team. We are a team. That's what the Americans probably say to each other before the match. We had the word stove, which is, remember, where you boil water when you make pasta, let's say. I spoke about the correlation between people telling me my hair looked stupid and cutting my hair at the same time. So the correlation, like the relationship, let's say. We had the term flush the toilet a lot. So remember, flush. Did you like that impression there? I also said I get it in the ear from Mrs. R&R. Notice there I get it because there is a connection there between the word get and it. So when you get it in the ear from someone, they say not nice things to you, like, what are you doing? Why did you let it mellow, for example? I spoke about pushing the boat out with toilet paper. So when you push the boat out, it's when you decide to spend money, let's say. And I said we go for, which is already is a nice term, we choose a kind of middle of the road toilet paper. So nothing amazing, but nothing terrible. And substitute Sabrina said, yeah, because it's freaking expensive, which is a nice way to not say the F word, okay? She also said that she is a bit maybe of an oddball because she doesn't get takeaway, so maybe a bit strange. And I said, in my house, we are big on takeaways, okay? So we really like that. I mentioned how I have become quite pally with the people at the pizza place, so quite friendly. We spoke about the word condiments, which remember like salt and pepper, and notice that's condiments, not condoms. I then spoke about having to shell out for medical insurance and toilet paper. So when you have to shell out for something, you have to spend a lot of money on it. Substitute Sabrina said about if her house is not cold enough for the heating to kick in. A lovely term there. For it to start, basically. So she mentioned it has to be 19 degrees. So if it is 20 degrees in her house, the heating will not kick in. It will not start. She also mentioned how I would have gone butt naked to my friend's house to watch the football. Butt naked, totally naked. We spoke about long johns. We've mentioned that already. And I also mentioned I tuck the long johns into my socks. This term tuck in is a lovely term. You can tuck long johns into socks. When you're at school, the teacher always tells you to tuck in your shirt when you have to put it in your trousers, let's say. And we spoke about layers, so how many clothes you're wearing. So if you're wearing t-shirt, jumper, coat, that is 3 layers. But all of the vocab is on the website, so go to rockandrollenglish.com, podcast episodes, and find all of the vocabulary there. I will see you very soon, people, but in the meantime, just keep on rocking, baby.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.